a beast with an indestructible skeleton and claws that can cut through anything. Wolverine is a creature of instinct and violence, relentless and nearly unstoppable. This is the Fenrir Protocol, a contingency designed for Wolverine. Threat level: high. Wolverine's durability, rapid healing, and raw combat skill make him a formidable threat. His resilience to pain and relentless nature require specialized containment, though his capabilities don't place him at the extreme threat level. Subject analysis. Also known as Logan or Weapon X, Wolverine possesses superhuman abilities centered around his healing factor, animalistic senses, and indestructible adamantium skeleton. His claws are lethal, capable of slicing through almost any material. Wolverine's heightened senses make evasion nearly impossible, and his pain tolerance allows him to continue fighting long after most would fall. Behavioral profile. Wolverine's approach to assault is brutal and direct. When engaged, he closes distance immediately, relying on close-quarters combat and lethal strikes with his claws. His typical assault involves charging head-on with a combination of slashing attacks and grappling, making avoidance nearly impossible. Neutralizing Wolverine requires targeting his senses and exploiting his vulnerabilities to continuous assault, as pain alone won't stop him. As Wolverine closes in, sensory overload grenades are deployed, releasing a high-frequency sonic blast combined with intense strobe lights. These grenades target Wolverine's enhanced hearing and sight, creating disorientation and temporary blindness, preventing him from tracking or reaching his target effectively. Once his senses are compromised, the electrostatic restraint bands are activated, which latch onto his limbs and lock his arms behind his back. Designed to interact with his adamantium skeleton, these restraint bands emit high-voltage pulses directly into his muscles. The electrical overload disrupts his nervous system, effectively paralyzing him and keeping him immobile until containment can be established. Once incapacitated, Wolverine is placed in a heavy-duty electromagnetic suspension chamber. This chamber suspends him mid-air using a powerful magnetic field that interacts with his adamantium, preventing any movement and rendering his claws useless. The field continuously adjusts to prevent any attempt at escape. Hydrogen peroxide infusion chambers line the containment cell, releasing a vapor that inhibits Wolverine's cellular regeneration. While this doesn't completely neutralize his healing factor, it significantly slows his ability to regenerate, limiting his physical recovery and reducing his chances of regaining strength. His vitals and healing rate are monitored at all times, with alerts set to detect any fluctuations that might indicate resistance or adaptation. If containment is breached, the Fenrir response unit deploys with specialized neurotoxin darts and shockwave restraint nets. The darts contain a neurotoxin designed to flood his nervous system, temporarily disrupting his motor functions. The shockwave nets deliver an electric charge on contact, disorienting him and forcing his body into temporary paralysis. In severe breach situations, the oxygen purge chamber is activated, sealing Wolverine in a high-pressure environment while slowly reducing oxygen levels. The lack of oxygen quickly weakens his physical endurance, allowing for rapid recontainment. Termination of Wolverine is considered only as an absolute last resort. His regenerative abilities make this process precise and final. The termination begins with full activation of the hydrogen peroxide infusion chambers, flooding the containment space with a vaporized agent that halts his healing factor completely. Once his regenerative ability is neutralized, specialized incendiary projectiles are fired at his torso, inflicting maximum tissue damage and creating internal injuries that can't heal. Following this, a series of high-voltage electromagnetic pulses are directed at his adamantium skeleton, focusing specifically on his spinal column. The electricity overloads his nervous system, causing full-body paralysis and rendering him incapable of resistance. The final step involves a pressurized acid bath introduced to his cell, eroding any remaining tissue and ensuring complete dissolution of his body. Termination is swift, ruthless, and leaves no margin for reformation. Conclusion: Wolverine's indestructibility and animal instincts make him a dangerous adversary. However, his reliance on enhanced senses and his healing factor provide exploitable weaknesses. Through relentless physical assault, targeted containment, and a decisive termination sequence, we maintain control. This is the Fenrir Protocol, and it's our best shot. If you found this protocol helpful, remember, I upload new contingency briefings every day. Your safety depends on preparation, so stay informed. If there's a specific threat you'd like analyzed, leave your suggestion below. Together, we'll ensure every contingency is covered.